note, you announced retirement following into the season. We're going to do just questions and answers. You have the statement. If you need a statement, have a copy. Yesterday's press release on the back table there. So we'll go with questions right now. First up.
When did you officially make this decision? How long have you been thinking about it?
To be honest with you, I've been thinking about it a couple of years. Even the last time, when I signed my last contract 2 years ago, I told Dr. Sartorelli, we were looking at 3 years. He actually asked me if I wanted 5, and I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, how about 3? And I said, well, that's great, but I don't know that I'll finish that. And, anytime you've done something for as long as I have, and my wife's done the same thing, she's been at her place of business for 34 years. And, she and I both been thinking about it, but really just made a decision about 10 days ago that this would be the last one.
What made this the right time to do it? Why not wait till the end, or just what made yesterday the day?
To be real honest with you, we had a number of conversations in the office. I wanted to know how the process had to work. When we found out that once I'm leaving, we've got to advertise and go through the whole process, I made the decision at that point that we need to get this done before I leave, rather than walk out and then leave our staff a guy short in the busiest time of the year, recruiting in the summer and camps. And I felt like the smartest thing for us to do is try to fill my position, and then if Randy happens to get the job, then we've got another position we need to fill. So you're looking at about 3.5 months worth of work, and I didn't want to leave our staff in that way in the summer. So I really didn't want to make the announcement. My preference would have been we finish the year, talk with the players, and out the door I go. But when we knew that we were going to have to advertise it, I felt like it was a smart thing to do, and go ahead and let our guys know ahead of time before we got into Friday. And so that's the route we went.
What did you tell the team, and what was their reaction?
Told them yesterday afternoon. They handled it well. Some guys disappointed, but they understood. They know, they know I've missed a lot of time with my family, and they understood.
Since the news broke, has there been maybe one thing that somebody just reached out and said to you, it's kind of stuck with you or resonated with you?
Probably Stitchhead's tweet last night. I'd love to see Florida State and UNC Wilmington in the World Series. We'd all love to see it. I've had, I couldn't tell you, really, a large number of alums and a lot of coaches across the country that have called or texted.
Sounds like you put a little thought into what the program will look like after you. Do you think Randy's the right guy for the job?
My personal opinion, yeah. He's certainly put in his time. He's been here with me. He understands the program. He's great. Got a great feel for the university and how things work. And he's been our recruiting coordinator for the last 10 years. And the players are comfortable. And we just got to trust the process and see how things work out. I told the players yesterday, after we were done with this today, we're done talking about our retirement. We're talking about the season, where we're going, what we've got to do, how we can get better every day, and they've got to show up with that focus and attention to detail and the work habits that we expect, and they understand the expectations of the program. And let's get after it and let's see what happens over 56 games.
1977, when you stepped foot here to today, did you ever think you'd still be here that so many years later?
No, I had no idea. Actually, when I started school here, I knew I was going to teach and coach. Got a degree in health and physical education with a concentration in math, not knowing, you know, if I went into public school, I had to have something besides health and physical education if I was going to make a career out of it. And fortunately for me, grad assistant position came open at Chapel Hill. Coach Brooks made a phone call. Mike Roberts gave me an opportunity, and then 2 years later, Coach was going to get out of baseball, and he called myself and Mike and asked me about coming back and working under him and Bobby for a year, his last year coaching, and that's what I did. And fortunately, he gave me a chance to come back out here full time.
Just if you look at the facilities and how things have changed, it's pretty amazing what's happened just in the last 10 years.
It is, you know, the community support has been phenomenal, the support of our alums, the efforts within the department to try to improve things. You know, it's been a long climb, but you know, we gradually, in our situation, we just try to take one small project at a time and make some improvements within the facility. And most of the improvements we've tried to make, you know, some of them were aesthetics, but others were facilities that give our guys a chance to develop and improve, and which we felt like that was going to be the most beneficial for us in our program, because of the type of players we've been able to recruit. Been able to recruit some really good athletes that were raw, that, you know, maybe they weren't quite the high-end recruit that some of the Power Fives were getting, but they were just as good an athlete, and it was just going to take a little bit of time. And so we felt like, facility-wise, we needed to be able to put our guys in a position where they could develop the best possible way.
Do you have a plan for what you're going to do afterwards?
No, I don't, John. I really don't have any idea. I'm gonna take it easy for a little while, spend some time with our granddaughter. I got another daughter getting married this summer, so you know, we'll see what ends up happening.
Do you think Allison's ready to have you home all the time?
No, I think she was probably pissed that that I went ahead and made the decision, because she'd always said, I'm quitting work before you do. And she still will. She's told her people, she said, you know, she told them back in February 14th is my last day. I'm just going to any game, anytime. And of course they came right back and said, hey, we got to have you, you know, can you work through May? So now she's thinking, I might as well work through August, I can help pay for the wedding. So she'll get out about the same time I do, but it'll certainly be different. You know, we've been married for 30, I better not get this wrong, but this will be 35 years this year. And we joke about it, you know, we probably spent about 8 years around each other out of 35. So now it's that time around each other. She said, you better find something else to do.
It's amazing just having the family grow up around this program and how supportive they've been. I mean, your girls grew up, you know, sitting in those seats, you know, in the press box, and just how they've grown up loving this program.
They hadn't known any different, you know. They've had big brothers, they've had brothers of the same age as they got to that age, and now they've got younger brothers. And they got like a lot of good friendships, a lot of good relationships with family. So it's been fun.
Is there any one thing, I mean, you still got a whole other season left, is there any one thing that still stands out as the moment you're most proud of, or the thing that you'll remember the most when you're done?
You know, there's so many good moments and good teams and good people. You know, 83 was a lot of fun. You know, our first time at a regional, and those guys were unbelievably competitive. 84 was a whole lot of fun too. Our first conference championship, tournament championship. You know, you go back in to the time I spent with Coach Guthrie in '89. You know, his first year we've, you know, '87 and '89 we finished first in the regular season. Weren't able to finish it at tournament time, but just a lot of good times that I get to reflect on after it's all said and done. I'm really excited about this club. So they've got a chance to go and how good they have an opportunity to be. Knock on wood, you know, if we stay healthy and players continue to make the progress they've made during the last 6 months, then by the end of the year, I like where this club has a chance to be.
How much did what happened in the offseason weigh into this decision with everything that went on with Matt?
To be honest, not a lot. Like I said, I've been thinking about it for a couple of years and just trying to figure out, you know, what's the best time. And what's the best time for me, what's the best time for the program. And I think it's, you know, is it the best time? Who knows? I think it's a good time. And, you know, we're going to get to the back end of it. Try not to look back. And that's what we tell the players. You make a decision, there's no looking back. You know, let's see what we can do moving forward.
Good. All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.